Yo guys, welcome to ShayanGaming. Valorant is finally out. Rito or Riot Games, whatever you want to call them, new first-person shooter. When it first came out, I had absolutely no idea what sort of game it would be, and in my mind I was thinking it's something like a mix between Overwatch or Apex Legends, where you're on a first-person shooter but you have abilities and there's loads of fun game modes. But then when I first played my very first game, I got really confused. I couldn't stop thinking, is this Counter-Strike? I pressed M to see the map and it's like A site, B site, okay, I remember this in Counter-Strike. And then the movement, I thought it might be kind of like the other first-person shooters, where as soon as you press left, you immediately move. But then there was a slight little delay, and I remember the only game I've played where that delay happens was Counter-Strike as well. And then I started to think, okay, this is probably Riot's game that they want to bring players of Counter-Strike into this game, and the way they're making it unique is by having abilities which Counter-Strike doesn't have. So I thought, okay, I used to play a bit of Counter-Strike, I'll give this a try. At first, because it's been such a long time that I've played a FPS where you literally have to aim for headshots or you're dead, and the time to kill is so short, I was just focusing on improving my aiming and accuracy. I didn't really focus too much on the abilities because I just wanted to actually be able to play one match without dying. And eventually I got quite decent and then started to think about using my abilities and how they can help. And I'll be honest, it took a while for me to get used to using abilities while playing it, because I got so used to playing it without the abilities that I didn't really understand if I actually needed to use them. And I think the main reason why I didn't understand the uses of the abilities was because in League of Legends, for example, I'm always playing marksman, and most of my abilities in some way will help me attack and get kills and do damage. And I was thinking to Overwatch, where all the abilities also essentially help with damage, or they're very obvious their uses for them. And then when I was playing Valorant, a lot of the abilities I didn't feel like actually were working in that similar way to other games. And then after a while I realized, okay, what's the actual purpose of each match? The purpose is to plant the bomb or to defuse the bomb. So if you're a defender, any ability that, even if it just creates a wall or it creates some form of cover that does no damage, or for example a smoke screen, normally you'd think a smoke screen isn't doing damage, I'm not going to get kills. But the reality is, if you're an enemy who's on the attacking side and you see a smoke screen through a corridor, you're not exactly going to walk through, because as soon as you come out, you don't know where the enemies are and they can immediately headshot you and you're dead. So the smoke screen then acts as delaying the attackers because they have a timer, and helping your team win. So once I started to realize the indirect ways that the abilities are used to help you win, then I started to not be so stressed about, oh, my ability isn't getting kills, am I not using it right, what's happening? And then starting to think about how, okay, my ability has probably distracted someone, so they're not going to come this way. That's good. It means my team has less avenues to worry about, and they can focus on other corridors where they might be coming from. And now, ever since I kind of understood that, I've been loving the game. I'll be honest, a lot of times I would think, wait, did they build this with Counter-Strike? Have they got their permission? Is this okay? Is this legal? And even like one of the champions, I call him Hanzo because of obvious reasons if you play Overwatch, but I think he's pronounced Sova. He essentially has most of Hanzo's abilities, although it's slightly different. But yeah, when I first saw that as well, especially because they put him in the training, so when you're going through the training, you're actually playing as him. And I was like, you could have at least put a champion that, is completely new and not someone like Overwatch. But it really feels like they're trying to get the Overwatch and Counter-Strike market with this game. But yeah, if you're a proper League of Legends player, this does probably feel like a completely different game. And I'm not sure if they're expecting many of the League players to move into this game, because they probably don't want to lose League players, which is probably why this game is so different. But initially I actually really hoped that it was like a League of Legends first-person shooter. So you would have, the same kind of champions with similar abilities. That's what I was really excited for. But then it is its own unique game that's kind of very separate to League, although there is a clip of Tom Kench in one of the games, which is pretty cool to see. But if you are coming to this game from League of Legends, know that the time to kill is really short, and soon, after a while, the people who are still playing are probably going to get really good at headshots, and it'll be even harder to stay alive in the game. So if you want to try it, I'd probably recommend trying it now before people get really good, or try it and get really good yourself as well, because it does become really fun. But one thing that I really do like is the fact that if you do become really good at aiming, gaming, you in some sense could 1v5, but that's only really possible if the enemy team is always by themselves and you just pick them off one by one. The point I'm mainly trying to get across is that there's probably much less trolling than in League of Legends. It's definitely still possible. I did play one game where someone was alive by themselves and they had to defuse the bomb, but they just wouldn't, and then we lost that match when we didn't have to lose it. But at the same time, if I wanted to defuse it, I shouldn't have gotten killed in the first place. So obviously if I improve and I didn't die in that situation, I could defuse it. But it's still early days, who knows? The League of Legends trolls could start flooding the game, but I have a feeling it won't be as bad as League in terms of trolling. Another thing that I'm really glad that they added at the start of the game is the Spike game mode, or Spike Rush, because one annoying thing about League is if you want to play a normal game, it's really long. And obviously they have ARAM, so that's good. But what I really liked about Overwatch is the games are really short and it's kind of all fully packed of loads of fun. And Spike Rush is a bit too short for my liking, but I think it's better to have it too short than too long, because then you can always just play 2 Spike Rushes. And it's a great way, if you're starting to play the game, to get to know the game, because in the normal game mode where it's best of 13, whoever gets to 13 wins first. But in Spike Rush, it's best of 4, so it's significantly shorter. Also, what's great about Spike Rush is every round you get a new weapon, so you can test out the different weapons in the game in a very short game mode. And because the game mode's short, you can immediately try another hero, agent. I need to get used to that word. So you can also practice getting good at the agents and learning their abilities. So I would definitely recommend playing that, because you also additionally get access to all your abilities, so you don't have to spend money like the normal game. And by money, I don't mean real money, I mean the game's kind of like League of Legends Gold. So because you already start with everything, you can practice your abilities as well. So that's definitely a great addition that they've made. But yeah, I'm curious to see what all of you think about the game, whether you've played it yet, how you're finding it, and whether you continue to keep playing it. I'm definitely having fun and I'm going to keep playing it, and I'm actually looking forward to the ranked season to start. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the video below. Hope you enjoyed this video, and leave a like if you did, and see you in the next one. Adios.